Okay, I am going to share with you why I named my son Kobe after Kobe Bryant. Now we got to go back in time so that you can understand the full context of what I was thinking the day that I met Kobe Bryant that would have remotely caused me to name my son after him after only just meeting him a year and a half earlier. Okay, so let's go back in time and let me help paint this story of the Kobe Bryant that I got to meet back in the summer of 1996. More specifically, Labor Day weekend of 1996. Now, if you're a big basketball person like I am, down at Venice Beach, one of the greatest places to just hang out, play basketball, have a good time, every Labor Day weekend, going back into the 70s that I heard of, I did not participate in, but I had heard that they've always had these basketball tournaments. And it's thrown by a couple of guys, and their name, I forget their name, so forgive me. In the comments, if you know the tournament I'm talking about, yo, put it in the comments below. But anyway, Bakersfield, where I'm from, which is about an hour and a half north of Los Angeles, we've always had a team that went down there. And this particular year, I went down there to hang out with the guys because 4 or 5 of the guys that were on the Bakersfield team, like I know them, I played basketball with them, you know, great players. We're talking about Jimmy Henry, also known as June, Reggie Phillips, Fred Eccles, Chris Childs, who played for the New Jersey Nets and the New York Knicks. He's a Bakersfield native. Well, we were also coached. That team, they call themselves the Bakersfield Jammers. That team was coached by a guy we called Bernie, but his real name is Ivory Manning. And, you know, Ivory, or Bernie I should say, and Chris, like them two dudes was like hella close. They were always together. So Bernie, and I'm going to refer to him as Bernie now. Bernie was always, you know, always getting players, working players out. Hell of a training coach, like could motivate anybody to be their absolute best. So I go down that day. I think it's a Sunday. It's a beautiful day, and I find out that Kobe Bryant is gonna play with the Bakersfield team. And I'm like, okay, I heard, you know, that this kid from high school was supposed to be pretty good. He obviously went from high school to the pros. And I'm like, okay, you know, I wonder what he's gonna do. Now, the reason why I say that is because of this. This tournament was, you know, ex-D1 players, ex-overseas players, ex-NBA players, current NBA players, current overseas players, current Division I players. Like this was like, these weren't scrubs. These guys were really good basketball players. Very, very good. So I was like, I don't know what this young high school kid, I don't know what he's gonna do. I mean, I've seen other high school kids, you know, get thrown into this tournament and, you know, they might get a little breakaway dunk, but they don't do anything of any significance. Nothing. So before the game starts, he's over there with the team. Now, you know, I'm going up, I'm dapping everybody. Hey, what's up, what's up? Matter of fact, you know who else we had on the team? We had Bo Outlaw. He played for the Clippers, and he's played for the Orlando Magic. And so Bo Outlaw was on the squad too. And so we're dapping up everybody. We're talking, and there's Kobe Bryant standing there, and next to him is Travis Knight. Now, Travis Knight was a center from UConn, and he had just got drafted, and he was a pretty good player himself. And I remember I went up to Kobe. because, you know, all those guys were there, and I was like, hey, what's up, man? And he was like, hey, what's up? And he dapped me. But the instant that I met him and I shook his hand, I remember thinking, yo, there's something different about this guy. I don't know what it is, but there is, like, I immediately, like, I just knew it. And you could see that it was his, like, yo, he was standing there and you could see he was focused. Like, he wasn't goofing around. He wasn't, you know, most guys, you know, they get to the game and they're chilling and they're, what's up, dog? Hey, what's up, baby? You know, you know, warming up. Nah, he was different. Like, he was quiet. He was focused. Like, it was like, now thinking back on it, it was like he had this, like, I'm about to destroy everyone on this court. Now looking back on it, like, that's, like, you could see, like, that's what he was thinking. And I just remember thinking, yo, that's different. He was, yeah, that was different. And cool cat. All right, cool. So, you know, warm-ups, everybody shows out. Yo, you know, he's showing out, obviously, you know, 360s. You know, everyone's like, oh, okay, he got a little bounce on him, you know, especially now, mind you, this is Venice Beach, 1996. Now, Venice Beach right now has they have the 3 main courts. I think it's 3 or 4. And then they have that main court that's off to the side, if you've ever been to Venice Beach. Well, at this time, that main court that's off to the side, it hadn't been built yet. So the main court was the first one there with all of the, you know, this, like, the stadium seating. That was the main court. That's where the tournament was held. It was right there on that court. So, you know, that's asphalt. And, you know, one court is a little higher than the other court. They're just slightly, you know, it's not even. And so I remember we were on the taller court, and I remember he was in warm-ups, and, yo, he's 360s, reverses. I'm like, okay, he got some bounce. You know? So the game starts, and, you know, immediately you can see his aggressiveness, you can see his, you know, his skill level. And what I specifically remember is this. Now, Bernie, a great coach, and when Bernie saw that he wanted to go to someone, he would just say, ISO in your name. And he, you know, Bernie had this little deep, you know, kind of voice, kind of raspy voice. You know, he'd be like, ISO Red, you know, ISO Reg, ISO Greg, you know, whoever it was. So this time, the ball comes up the court and he's like, ISO Kobe. And Kobe goes on to the left side, you know, the left wing here. Dude is guarding him. And Kobe, I remember Kobe coming up and he's dribbling slowly between his legs. And they basically kind of clear out. Help is on the weak side. And I just remember Kobe dribbling through his legs and then hit the dude with like a little in and out, and bam, boom, baseline, and went up and dunked it. Boom! What? Yo, did you see the way he just, yo, did you see the way he just shook, old boy? Yo, did you? Yo, did you see the way he just shook, old boy? Like, yo, okay. All right, he got a little nice little move, got dunk, okay, nothing special. They go down, we get the ball back, we come back up, Bernie goes, ISO Kobe. Same side, the left side. So the dude who just got burnt, just like, okay, I'm gonna play a little bit better D on you. I'm gonna see what you got. You know, this dude was no scrub. So what does Kobe do? Kobe hits him a little in and out again, but this time, instead of going baseline, he goes to the middle, comes back. By the time the help comes over, too late. Boom! Dunk. Oh shit, everybody, the beach is packed, everybody's like, what the, wait a minute, what is this? Yo, this dude's in high school? Like, what? Like, and so then, they go down, they come back up. By this time, the coach on the other team, because Bernie's yelling at ISO Kobe, he's like, this is 3 in a row, ISO Kobe. The coach on the other team is yelling, yo, double him. Dude dude that's guarding Kobe's like, yo, that. I got him. Coach is like, double him. That. So, you know, when you're a hooper and somebody's starting to whoop your ass on the court, what's the thing that you're going to do? That's right. You're going to get up on him and you're going to give him this and you're going to push him and you're going to make sure that he don't get to wherever he's trying to get to. So what does Kobe do? Instead of facing him up, Kobe turns and starts backing him down. Now the help side is getting ready to come. And they're coming from the top by the free throw line. Kobe's backing him down. Kobe's backing him down. And then all of a sudden, Kobe hits him with a little whoop. Do you see that? A little whoop, a little shimmy shimmy, a little whoop. And that dude went middle. Kobe spun baseline. The help went to the middle. Kobe had already spun baseline. Kobe went up in the air. Boom! And Venice Beach lost its mind. People was running everywhere. Oh shit! Did you just see what the hell did he just, what? They had to stop the game for a minute because people was on the court. It was, you know, it's like, you know, like something you've seen at Rucker Park, you know? It was just like that. This dude had just turned 18 years old. He had just turned 18 years old. And he was out here whooping grown men's asses, killing them, murdering them. Yo, he was killing the whole game. The only bad thing that happened, he went up to grab a rebound to like dunk it or something, and my boy Jimmy June, Lil June, who's only like, I don't know, 5'4", 5'5", something like that, was right there, and he hit Kobe's legs by accident, and Kobe tipped over, and Kobe fell down on his hands and his wrist. I think it was his right wrist, or I can't remember which wrist it was. And that's, remember, before he started his rookie year, remember he had to sit out like a month or two because he had to let his wrist heal because he had like slightly fractured it. And it was because at Venice Beach. And I remember he got up and he was like, ah! And I remember him just running. I remember seeing his parents, his mom and his sisters and them, like just following after him. And I'll never forget, after that day, I had never seen somebody that young with that skill level do this to grown men. He made them look like they were not in his league. They were not in his vicinity. He was heads and shoulders and body above them. And I knew right then and there, yo, this kid is gonna be great. I felt it. I got a chance to see Michael Jordan play like 3 or 4 times. I knew when Mike walked in the gym, there was an aura. Like how Dave Chappelle talks about Rick James having an aura. Michael Jordan had that same kind of. Mike walked into the gym and you could just, it was this aura. I could feel the same thing from Kobe. Meeting him and watching him play. It was, I can't even explain it. It was unreal. I knew it then. And so in 1998, when we found out that my wife was pregnant with my son, and we were going over names, and I think she wanted to name my son Tyson or Trevor or something like that, and I was like, nah, Kobe. She was like, Kobe? What are you talking about? I was like, yeah, Kobe. Kobe, the basketball player? You know, and at this time, you gotta remember, by 1998, he still wasn't like, no one knew that he was gonna be what he was gonna be. He was getting better, but nobody knew he was gonna be Kobe. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, Kobe. Spell it the exact same way. I don't want no variation. I don't want no C-O-B-Y, C-O-B-I, you know, K-O-B-Y. Nah, I want K-O-B-E, Kobe. because I knew my son was gonna be just as great and as unique as this Kobe. And that is why I named my son Kobe. And that is why this week it has been really tough for me, just knowing that not only did Kobe pass, but his daughter and all those other people, the other families that were on that helicopter and the pilot. And it's just a very, very sad situation. And it's like I lost a family member. It's like I lost someone that I've like known since 1996. I don't know how to describe it. I've been grieving. You know, I recently lost my mother to cancer back in August of 2019, and that's why I started vlogging. And it's just really been, golly, like I'm really taking this really bad. But I just wanted to share this story about Kobe Bryant and my experience with Kobe, so that all of you could maybe just get a little bit of glimpse of what it was that I saw that day at Venice Beach in 1996. It's something that I will never forget. It is something that I'm glad that I got a chance to meet him that one time. I got to see him obviously play a handful of times after that. I've been his biggest fan, his biggest supporter. And I know one day I'll get up there and I'll get my one-on-one with him, and it'll be special.